This video is on the LED tuner feature on the D-Lev. The LED tuner is quite a bit different than a guitar tuner that you might plug into your analog Theremin. It's much more responsive, so you can use it not only to set up the beginning of a piece from silence, but actually during play. And the display is more geared towards that sort of use than a guitar tuner type display is. So you can use it actively during play, and I certainly do. So the display consists of a note circle here. It's 12 LEDs, one for each half step, so the note circle tells you where you are within an octave. It has a 7-segment octave display, so this kind of shows you where you are in terms of octaves. And then it has like a thermometer type LED bar graph here for volume. The center LED here in the note circle is normally on when you're playing. It is off when the unit is muted. It blinks at a 2 Hz rate during the ACAL process. And it blinks differently when a voice preset or system profile write is pending, just to warn you that that's happening. The volume bar graph over here, each LED is 12 dB. So from fully off to fully on, a single LED covers a 12 dB range. So when all the LEDs are off, we're at least at 12 times 4 minus 48 dB, which is pretty quiet. Your audience probably won't be able to hear anything when all the LEDs are off. When one LED is on, let me turn on the output. When one LED is on, you'll be at minus 36 dB. When 2 are on, you're at minus 24 dB. When 3 are on, you're at minus 12 dB. And when all are on, you're at 0 dB. So most of your playing will actually take place over the on and off of just this top LED, a 12 dB sort of range. That's the most expressive kind of region generally for most voices. All right, so on the pitch circle, we have C is located right here. C sharp next to it here, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. So when we're playing in the key of C, the pattern will be vertically symmetric. And I can share that to you by playing a short song in the key of C. So you can see that I was setting up each note by watching the tuner before I played the note with my volume hand. So you can come in right on the note that you want. You can take very large jumps without really any technique at all. It's pretty handy. So that's what's going on up there. Let's see what's going on down here. The display page here is dedicated mainly to the LED tuner. And we can control the brightness here. Let me turn that off again. We can control the brightness. We can turn off the LED tuner entirely if we don't want to see it. We can turn it all the way up, make it very bright, or we can make it rather dim. We can control the quantization. So if we turn off the quantization and we make a smooth movement with our pitch hand, you can see that it sort of seems to favor 2 LEDs being on rather than 1, which feels kind of nonlinear. If we turn quantization up to 1 and make the same smooth movement, it seems more linear, the display. Turn it up to 2. starts seeming like it's favoring individual LEDs, but it still feels fairly linear. Let's turn it all the way up. You can see that it strongly favors individual LEDs being on. So you can kind of set that up how you want when you're playing. I like quantization, I guess 1, maybe 2. Right, then we also have down here ascent control, which offsets the entire unit, the pitch reference of the entire unit and not just the display. So if you're playing along with something that's not at concert pitch A440, you can adjust the D-Lev to be in tune with it. And you can see here that we can go from 0 to plus 99 cents to minus 99 cents. So we've got a plus minus half a step there that we can vary it over. And to vary it over a wider range, not the pitch reference itself, but just the display, we can offset the pitch by turning this note knob here. So you can see as I increase it, I'm adding an offset. As I decrease it, I'm subtracting an offset. And that goes from plus 11 to minus 11 half steps. So you can, that's mainly used for if you're playing along to a song and you're starting off maybe with using the tuner. You can set whatever key you're playing into to be displayed as the key of C on the tuner. And it's kind of a training wheels kind of thing, so you get used to then the key of C pattern up here, and then after you've become very accustomed to it, you can maybe turn off the offset and start recognizing patterns as they're rotated on the tuner. All right, and then we also have an octave offset down here, and if I increase it, you can see the octave is increasing. And if I go negative below 0 here, you start seeing letters showing up. And if I go really negative, you see regular numbers show up again. So I'm increasing it now to 9. Now what you're seeing here, the letters are hexadecimal representations of values. It's a way of displaying 16 values on a segment display. So A is 10, B is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And we're back to 0 again. So don't confuse letter names showing up here with note letter names, because they're not. Right? We also have a post knob down here, a post value. And what that does is when we set it to 1, we're observing on the pitch circle the actual pitch, like post pitch correction. So, and that might be handy, like when you're trying to tune pitch correction, trying to see what it's doing. That can be handy. Post 2 shows us where a pitch hand is, so it's just like post 0 for the pitch. But on the volume side, it shows us what's going on with the actual volume. So it's post envelope generator. It's not pre-envelope generator, which is more of where our hand is. It's showing us actual volume. And when we set post 3, we're looking at the post of both the pitch and the volume together. So I normally play with post 0 because I want to see where my pitch hand is and my volume hand is. I'm more interested in that than what the actual pitch or volume are doing generally. All right, and then the last knob here is the LCD knob. If we zero it out, the backlight of the LCD turns off. We can make the backlight very bright. We can turn it down some. One really nice feature of this LCD is that it operates in both modes, both transmissive and reflective. So if you're out in very bright light, the backlight will get washed out, but the light bouncing off of the display, the reflective mode will still work, and you'll still be able to read the LCD fine in very, very bright sunlight. And in transmissive mode, you're using the backlight then to, in a darker room, you're using the backlight being blocked by the letters to be able to read it. So you might want to turn the backlight down when you're in a dark room, but not off, because obviously then you wouldn't be able to read it. But it's a very nice feature of the display that you can read it both ways. So you'll always be able to tell kind of what's going on with your D-Lev. It won't get washed out or hidden from you. Okay, that's it.